So most people are worried about someone stealing their identity. But here's the crazy part. We've been leaving pieces of ourselves online for years. A birthday here, an address over there, a job, a family member. One piece means nothing, but put them all together, those are digital breadcrumbs, and they can lead a stranger straight to you. Give me your name. That's it. Just your name. I don't need your social security number. I don't need your password. I don't even need your bank account. Because depending on what you've left scattered across the internet, well, your name may be enough to start finding your age, your phone number, old addresses, relatives, where you've worked, and maybe even where you live right now. Now imagine I'm not me. Imagine I'm trying to scam you. I didn't hack your computer. I didn't steal your password. I didn't break into anything. I just followed the trail you left behind. And that is what we're talking about today. Not disappear, not move into the woods, not throw your phone in the ocean. We're talking about something much more practical. How to stop making yourself so easy to find. Because here's where this gets interesting. In order to keep your head above water these days, financially, personally, professionally, you've got to understand something. Information is currency. And I'm talking about your information, your birth date, your employer, where you've lived, who you've lived with, who you're related to, your email, your phone number, what you own, where you vacation. On the surface, most of it seems harmless. But put enough of those little pieces together, and someone who has never met you can potentially learn an awful lot about you. And here's the uncomfortable part. We gave them most of it. Well, not intentionally. We were just living. We bought houses, got licenses, opened accounts, changed jobs, updated our LinkedIn, joined Facebook, posted birthdays, congratulated our children, went on vacation, maybe used the same username for the last 15 years. We were living our lives. The internet, though, they were keeping receipts. Now, this is where I went down the rabbit hole. Let's talk about data brokers. And it isn't just some mysterious dark web operation either, guys. This is an actual business. People search sites can collect information from different sources, including public records, public social media profiles, and other data sources, and compile those pieces into information that make up your profile. So think about what that actually means. One place has your employer, another has your old address, another connects you to a relative, another has a phone number, another has a username, and it goes on and on. And suddenly, though, 20 insignificant pieces of information aren't so insignificant anymore. Those are called digital breadcrumbs. And the more breadcrumbs we leave behind, well, the less work someone else has to do. So guys, let's slow down for a moment and have a real conversation. Let me show you how normal this can be. So let's call her Susan. So Susan turns 52. She posts, "Can't believe I'm 52 today." Perfectly normal, right? Well, she celebrates her anniversary, 25 years with her husband, Robert. Normal, right? And her daughter graduates high school and she posts that. Normal? Yes. She changes jobs and updates LinkedIn. That's normal too. Maybe she buys a home and there's an applicable public record. Also normal. Susan hasn't done anything reckless. That's the point, guys. She's simply been living her life. But over the years, Susan may have been publishing pieces of her biography, one innocent little post at a time. Nobody necessarily hacked Susan. They just followed the breadcrumbs, the digital breadcrumbs. So here is where it can hit your money, okay? And we've all gotten those ridiculous scams, the ones that says your package could not be delivered. And you're thinking, what package? And of course, you hit delete. But what happens when the person contacting you knows your name, your full name, your government name, right? So they know your employer, your old address, a relative's name. Now that lie contains an element of truth. And that's when a scam can become much more convincing. Because a scammer doesn't necessarily need to know everything about you. Sometimes they just need to know enough about you to make you think they know everything about you. And then sometimes getting scammed isn't about being unintelligent. It's about that 1-2 punch, that 3-second hesitation. When you say, wait a minute, how did they know that? That's what we're trying to eliminate. Because of course, it's impossible for you to be unscammable, if that's even a word, but we can make the probability extremely low. And of course, we're going to stop doing the scammers' homework for them. So here's a true crime story, guys, that you really need to listen to, because sometimes it's not always money or currency or things of value in the tangible sense that people are after. Sometimes they're after you. So there's a real case that happened back in 2020. And there was a federal judge in New Jersey. She's at home. So picture this. She's at home with her family. A man arrives posing as a delivery driver. Her 20-year-old son, well, he answers the door and his life was taken. So I'm using YouTube-friendly words, right? So his life was eliminated. His father was seriously wounded. And according to the federal judiciary, the assailant had obtained the family's home address by a simple online search. Now, I'm not suggesting everyone watching this faces that same kind of danger. That's not even the point. The lesson here is information that seems ordinary to you may have tremendous value to someone else. An address is boring on its own merit until someone wants to find you. A birthday is boring until someone needs your age. A relative's name, well, it's boring until someone needs credibility. So the context changes the value of the information. So the question isn't, how do I completely disappear from the internet, the interweb, as my daughter liked to so famously refer to it as. So for most people, that's kind of unrealistic. The better question is, why am I making myself easier to find than I need to be? So let's call this digital spring cleaning, right? So let's clean house. And we're not going to go out and pay someone $29.99 a month, because there are things that you can start doing yourself for free. First, Google yourself. And don't just type your name once and call it a day. Search your full name in quotation marks. Your government name, right? The name your parents gave you. Then your name plus your city, your employer, your email, your phone number. Search old usernames. Search your current username, and then look at image results. And here's the trick. Don't look at the results like you. Pretend you've never met yourself. Ask this: what could I learn about this person in 10 minutes? That becomes your digital ghost audit. So here's a tool that most people don't know exists, and it's a Google tool called Results About You. It can help you find certain Google search results containing personal contact information, such as your phone number, your home address, or an email address, or prior email addresses. And you can request removal of qualifying results. So I'm putting the official Google link below. You'll also see it in the description box. But understand this: removing something from Google search doesn't necessarily remove the information from the original website. So that's important to note. Google may simply be helping people find it. So whenever possible, then you want to go upstream where the information actually originated. And that's where we want to go next. So let's clean up the trail. So we start with people's search sites, the ones listing your age, addresses, phone numbers, and possible relatives. So the FTC says you can request removal yourself, so don't automatically pay somebody to do it for you. But remember, removing yourself from a people's search site doesn't necessarily erase the original public record, and your information can come back. So you have to find it, remove it, verify it, then recheck it. And if the information came from a court source, like a county, a property record, or licensing agent, then you'll have to go directly to that governmental source to see rather if you qualify for a legitimate confidentiality correction or redaction option. Now, that has a lot to do with the state that you live in. Some states won't erase certain public records, but a lot of the other information, according to the FTC, and I'll leave those links in the description box, you should be able to request a removal yourself without having to pay someone, a third party, to do it for you. So next, we're going to spy on yourself. So in short, look at your social media like a stranger would. Look at your birthday, your employer, family, email, phone number, hometown, vacation plans maybe. How much can someone learn about you, that is, by using that information? So you want to use the privacy controls. Delete old accounts that you no longer need or use, and stop using one distinctive username across the board. And I have to say, I used to be really guilty of that, but that's a really, really bad habit, because once someone has your username or password, if you're using it across the board, you're in a lot of trouble. So here's another rule worth keeping, guys. Post memories, not movements. So in other words, you don't need to announce that you're leaving town while you're pulling out of the driveway, right? Post that when you get back. So then protect your money. You want to put a security freeze on all of the credit bureaus, right? And even the Internal Revenue Service offers a free identity protection PIN. So that means that when you file your taxes, or you call the Internal Revenue Service with questions, or even if there's any type of scam that's going around, they're sending out letters that's fake, sending out text. So when you call the Internal Revenue Service, then no one will have that identity protection PIN but you, and that will help prevent anybody from using your social security number, right, to file a fraudulent federal tax return. And of course, I'll put those links in the description box as well. And finally, practice what I call data poverty. So before giving a website your birthday, phone number, contacts, location, or address, do they really need this information? Give legitimate information when it's required, but stop volunteering information just because someone gave you a blank box. So going digitally ghost isn't about disappearing. That's not what I'm saying. It's about changing your default from public unless necessary, right, to private unless necessary. So going digitally ghost, it isn't about disappearing altogether. We know that's not practical. It's about changing your default from public to private unless necessary. So find yourself, remove what you can, protect what matters, and then recheck it again and again. So you don't have to become invisible, just harder to find, harder to profile, and a whole lot harder to fool. So what's the long and short of what we're saying? You can't control everything that's out there. We know that. But you can stop making it easy. So if you haven't already, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel, like the video, share it with a friend. Because here at the Underground Almanac, we don't just find the information, we find information that you can use. So as always, we will see you on the next video. And thanks again.